River Club Apartments. It's our latest multifamily investment opportunity located in Evansville, Indiana. It's our first project that we've had put under contract in over a year. Our last project that we closed on was in February of 23. We actually put it under contract, I want to say in September of 2022. So it's been well over a year since we've actually put a project under contract. We've looked at well over 100 deals, almost none of them penciled or made sense. We've been very patient. We've really kind of held out. There were certainly projects we could have gotten more aggressive on, but we didn't feel like it was the time. It wasn't the place, and the deal wasn't right. The price has to be right, the basis has to be right, and the returns have to be appropriate. And our opinion and belief is that we were just a little bit ahead of the market, and what a broker will tell you is typically what's going to be in the broker's best interest. And so we were receiving a lot of information that I wasn't say it was wrong from brokers, but obviously trying to preserve their thoughts on the market, preserve the deals that they were trying to sell at higher prices. And we really had to push back and work on educating the market on just like, let's look at the math here. What makes sense in terms of a spread and a difference between cap rates in the market, current interest rates, and returns that a reasonable investor would like to see, and not being convinced by the market that you'll just do it anyway to do a deal because, well, maybe you'll refinance down the road. It has to work today because we don't know if we can refinance down the road. Sure, probably will in a couple of years, but we don't know that. That's completely speculating. If the deal doesn't work as it is today, it doesn't work for us. So we'll just play this video real quick that gives a little bit of a drone tour of River Club Apartments. River Club is located in Evansville, Indiana. Now, the name of the property currently is actually Regency Club. We have to rebrand the property, not for a reputational issue, because the seller's name is actually Regency. They would not like their name to continue along with the property. So it gives us a great opportunity to not only transform the property physically, but also from a complete new brand and a relaunch of the asset. Regency Club, as known today, soon to be known as River Club, was built originally in two phases between 1981 and 1984, so mid-80s construction, mostly comprised of 1 and 2 bedrooms. There are some 3 bedrooms, but mostly 1 and 2 bedrooms. This was the property. This was like the lifestyle place to be for young professionals in the Evansville market. If you wanted a nice apartment with all of the amenities in a great location, this was the place to be. And it has made a really positive reputation over its lifetime. A lot of you aren't familiar with Evansville. That's okay. I've talked to a lot of people in Indiana. A lot of folks just aren't familiar with Evansville, which is in the southwestern portion of the state. It's about a 3-hour drive from Indianapolis, about 150 miles. Evansville has a population of around 120,000 people in the city itself. The MSA is a little north of 300,000. But what Evansville serves as is kind of a regional hub to a population of around 900,000 people that are in kind of northwestern Kentucky, southeastern Illinois, and southwestern Indiana itself. And there's a lot of regional resources, whether that's hospitals and universities. They're all centered in Evansville. That has contributed to the growth and why we believe Evansville is going to continue to grow in the future. Let's get into some of the data for Evansville and the property itself. First, I want to talk about supply. So looking at the bottom left side of the screen, that's looking at net deliveries and starts. You can see there's not a whole lot, if anything, in the Evansville pipeline. There's been a couple hundred units that have delivered over the last several years, but that's a true kind of drop in the bucket for what the market needs, and especially what it will need in the next couple of years. In terms of occupancy in Evansville and at the property, that bottom line on the top chart is the Evansville occupancy. Kind of is always right around kind of 94, 95%, dips down to 93 or brushes 93 here and there. The top line is currently Regency Club, soon to be River Club. You can see the occupancy is historically very, very strong. Only for a couple brief periods where it kind of brushed that 94, 93 mark, it typically is between 95 and 99% occupancy. And the top line's 100, the line below that is 99. And you can see it typically hangs out in that 97 to 98% range. When we were on site just several weeks ago doing our physical due diligence, there were only a handful of vacant units. There's a handful of townhome units. They're nicer. They were actually built in 2016. I'll touch on those in just a minute. There's only 20 of them. They're always 100% occupied. So there's clearly a lot of demand for the apartments and interest in the specific kind of submarket that we're in.